We're so happy to have you right here and get
Thanks for
to
having
share
me.
our love
Thank
and
you.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Green is looking very good on you.
Yeah.
Have you slept in the green jacket? Like, I mean, what, you just put it on every day just to make sure it still fits? Like,
Yeah, I probably haven't worn it as much as I thought I would.
Yes.
The whole, that Sunday afternoon and everything that happened afterwards, I get back to my rental house, we have a few drinks, I get like 4 hours of sleep. Yeah. I wake up the next morning and I'm like, did that happen? And then I see this thing sitting in the corner of the room. I'm like, yeah. That happened.
Really?
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah.
And it took a minute to get there. And for the Today Show viewers to understand the career Grand Slam, you're now one of 6, as I just mentioned. We can name them. Gene Sarazen, Ben Hogan, Gary Player, Jack, Tiger, Rory. Only 6 of you have won all 4 majors. What does that feel like, finally?
Yeah, I mean, there's 4 of us living. I never got to meet Gene Sarazen or Ben Hogan, but these are, they're like mythical, people in our sport. But to think that I'm in that company. Never in a million years did I.
Rushmore. You're on Rushmore of golf.
Never in a million years did I. I mean, I always, as a kid, like that's what I dreamt of, and I said I wanted to be the best player in the world, and I wanted to win all the majors, but as a 9-year-old kid, you just say these things, and then for it to become reality is incredible. Yeah,
you manifested it. There was quite the drought though, between. Yeah. The Masters and your last major before that. I think it was 14 years, right?
So it was 14 years from when I had a really good chance to win the Masters. It was 10 years from when I won the PGA Championship in 2014, just over 10 years.
What changed? How'd you do it?
I think the thing is, it's not as if I wasn't playing good golf. I felt like I'd won everything there was to win in golf, apart from winning a major in those 10 years. And I had close calls. I finished second at the US Open the last 2 years. I had a chance to win the Open at St Andrews in 2022. And I think just all those experiences, it's almost like, if someone had told me at Pinehurst last year, okay, you're going to lose this one, but in 8 months' time you're going to win the Masters, right, I would have been like, absolutely, like where'd I sign up? But I think all those experiences led to this point.
So when you watch that, and like I said, when you cry, I cry, you could just visibly see this weight being lifted off your shoulders.
Yeah.
So what does it feel like to walk around right now and not have that weight on you anymore?
Yeah, I've never felt a release like that. I cried at my wedding, I cried at the birth of our daughter, but it was something that I didn't realize I was holding on to for so long, and just that release and that emotion, and my head's on the floor there, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs at that point. And yeah, look, there's, as Craig said, like, there was probably points over the last 10 years I thought, is this ever going to happen for me again? Yeah. And I'm not getting any younger. I'm still young in golf. I'm 35, just about to turn 36, but I knew that my window was closing a little bit. So, that was a huge moment, and be able to do it and to have my family there, and it was incredible.
Of course, I watched a bunch of interviews, obviously, and what struck me is you're starting to say, I think for the Today Show viewers that are watching right now, maybe they could extract some words of wisdom from you about, you're getting to that place in that over 10-year period where you're really starting to have a little self-doubt. Yeah. And starting to feel like maybe it would never happen. You just needed to win the green jacket. And the more years that you go there and it doesn't happen, the weight becomes loftier and loftier. Yeah. But there's a lot of people who can't relate to that, but they can relate to not getting that promotion, feeling like they're never going to find love, feeling like they're never going to get to a better place within themselves. Yeah. What's the takeaway there for the average person? Yeah,
so I always thought about, if I were to finally win the Masters, like, what did I want my message to be? And, in the prize ceremony, my daughter was on the green, and I talked about never giving up on your dreams. But I think just never giving up and being resilient. And, if you get knocked down 5 times, you have to get up 6 times. Just keep going, keep trying, I'm a big fan of, like, stoicism. I was talking to my wife about this earlier. They have a mantra of, like, amor fati, which means love fate. Yeah. So, trying to see the good in everything, trying to think that everything that happens, it's for a reason, and trying to live life with that attitude.
The obstacle's the way.
Yeah, exactly.
I ask you about this rom-com thing. I read recently that you watched, I guess, The Devil Wears Prada before. You won the Players Championship.
Yeah.
This time around, was there another rom-com that helped you?
Yeah, so Devil Wears Prada was the night before.
That's what you get for being so honest and impressive.
I know.
Yeah, now it's okay.
Erica and I were watching Bridgerton during the week of the Masters. I watched Zootopia with Poppy on the Saturday morning as well. So I'm anything to take my mind off what I'm actually supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I'm all for. Like, I'm a big, if I can distract myself, especially the weeks of tournaments, like that's a good thing for me.
Well, you mentioned Poppy, and I'm glad you did, because one of my favorite golf highlights is Poppy McIlroy, who sunk an amazing putt.
She did.
She's 4 years old. I mean, this was incredible.
It was. The par 3 tournament at the Masters is such a special day, and to be able to be there with your family, Erica, Poppy, Shane, his wife Wendy, their 2 kids, Iris and Ivy, Tommy Fleetwood, Claire, the whole thing. But it is,
I mean, were you just flipping out?
It was,
this little girl?
and there's Iris running it, but it was incredible. It's a funny story from that week. So every golf tournament, they set up like a daycare for the kids, and they did this kid's photo one day, and they all got these Augusta National T-shirts, and on the back of them was a list of all the past winners up until 2024. So she came home that day, and she said to me, "Dada, why is your name not on the back of the T-shirt?" Yeah, I was like, "You don't have to rub it in." I said, "Well, Pop," and then when I won, I said, "Poppy, my name's going to be on the back of the T-shirt."
Yes.
So
I got to come home and take this heat too.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But she doesn't care about the green jacket. It's the T-shirt.
Wait, we got to go, but I have to ask. We just put out a cookbook. We're all on the food thing. You get to do the Masters meal next year.
Yes.
What's the menu? Have you thought about it, or have you picked a protein? Anything?
I've been into I've been into wild game recently, so like venison, elk, stuff like that. So I don't know if that might be that was that sort of fueled this run. So maybe something like that.
We're so happy for you. We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
You couldn't hear us all screaming, but everyone was pulling for Rory McIlroy that Sunday.
Thank you so much.
You know what the ratings were when you made 7 to 715? 20 million were watching, just under. The whole world was watching you do this. So
well done.
Felt like it.
But wait, there's one thing he hasn't done that I hear that you might be open to do.
What's that?
The weather. Are you game, Mr. Roker?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Come on over.
Okay.
The map is yours. Come on.
Looks a little rainy through the Midwest there.
Yeah, here we go.
Don't miss Rory in action next month at the 125th U.S. Open. That's at Oakmont Country Club starting June 12th on NBC USA, streaming on Peacock. All right, guys.
You'll see what happens. Just hit the map.
Okay.
Just anywhere you want. Just boom. Okay. All of a sudden, so you've got. These are all little golf places for you.
Yes.
You got Eagle, Colorado, 66 degrees, 64 Fairway in Missouri, same in West Virginia, Driver, North Carolina, and or I should say Kentucky, and Green, New York. We're looking at partly sunny skies. So does this meet your Masters approval?
Absolutely. This is pretty cool. I
like that?
Yeah, I do like it. Yeah.
Hold on, wait. I got to do one other thing. What the heck? Since I'm here, it's not every day.
Selfless.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.